In the dim glow of her corner office overlooking Seattle's relentless rain, Elena stared at the engagement ring on her finger, its diamond catching the cold fluorescent light like a trapped star, mocking the emptiness in her heart. What if the man who once set your soul ablaze walked back into your life, not as a memory, but as the forbidden temptation you could never resist, especially when he held the key to a secret that could shatter everything? Elena Harper had built her empire from the ground up, a thriving marketing firm in the heart of the city where dreams were pitched and realities forged. At 32, she was the epitome of success: sharp suits, impeccable presentations, and a fiancé, Mark, who was as reliable as the steady drizzle outside her window. Their life together in the upscale suburb of Bellevue was comfortable: weekend brunches, predictable date nights, and a wedding planned for next spring. But comfort had a way of suffocating passion, and Elena felt it every time Mark kissed her cheek instead of her lips, every time their conversations drifted to mortgages instead of midnight confessions. She told herself this was adulthood, that wild hearts were for the young and foolish. Yet, deep down, a restlessness stirred, a longing for the fire she'd once known. It was on a stormy Monday morning when he walked into the office for his interview. Alex Rivera, 28, with that same tousled dark hair and piercing blue eyes that had haunted her dreams for years. He was applying for the junior creative position, his resume boasting enthusiasm and fresh ideas from a string of startups. But Elena recognized him instantly, the boy from college who'd stolen her heart during late-night study sessions in the library, their whispers turning to kisses under the stacks. They'd been inseparable, a whirlwind of passion and promises, until life pulled them apart: her ambition for grad school in New York, his family obligations back in California. They'd parted with tears and vows to reunite, but time had eroded those bridges. Or so she thought. Now, here he was, younger in spirit but matured into a man whose smile still made her pulse race. She hired him on the spot, telling herself it was his portfolio, not the way his eyes lingered on hers with unspoken recognition. As weeks passed, Alex's enthusiasm lit up the office like sunlight breaking through clouds. He threw himself into projects with a thoughtfulness that bordered on artistry, remembering her favorite coffee order during late-night brainstorms, sketching ideas that captured the essence of her vision before she even voiced it. Elena found herself drawn to him, their conversations slipping from professional to personal, laced with inside jokes from their past. One evening, as rain hammered the windows, they stayed late reviewing a campaign. His hand brushed hers while pointing at the screen, sending a jolt through her body she hadn't felt in years. "You haven't changed, Elena," he murmured, his voice low and seductive. "Still the most captivating woman I've ever known." Her breath caught, the air thick with forbidden desire. She pulled away, heart pounding, but the damage was done, the embers of their old flame reignited, threatening to consume her carefully constructed life. But what she didn't know yet was the secret Alex carried, a truth from their shared past that would upend everything: the child he'd raised alone, the daughter she never knew existed, conceived in their final passionate night before goodbye. The revelation came like a thunderclap during a team retreat in the misty forests outside Seattle. Elena had organized it to boost morale, but tension simmered between her and Alex from the start. Mark couldn't attend, tied up with work, leaving her vulnerable to the pull of old memories. That night, around a crackling bonfire, Alex pulled her aside under the canopy of evergreens, the scent of pine and smoke mingling with his cologne. "There's something I have to tell you," he said, his eyes shadowed with guilt. They walked deeper into the woods, raindrops pattering on leaves like hesitant tears. He stopped, taking her hands in his, the warmth of his touch igniting sparks she'd long suppressed. "After we parted, I found out you were pregnant. But you were gone, chasing your dreams, and I couldn't bear to hold you back. So I raised her, our daughter, Mia. She's 5 now, with your smile and my stubbornness." Elena's world tilted, her knees buckling as she clutched a tree for support. A child? Their child? The betrayal stung like acid. How could he keep this from her? Tears streamed down her face, mixing with the rain, as anger and longing warred within her. "You had no right," she whispered, her voice breaking. But as he pulled out a photo from his wallet, showing a little girl with curly hair and bright eyes, something shattered inside her, a wall she'd built around her heart. They stood there, inches apart, the forbidden truth binding them even as it tore her apart. Yet, the secret she uncovered next would destroy everything she built, for Mark had suspected something, and his confrontation was brewing like the storm overhead. Back in the city, Elena's life unraveled thread by thread. She confronted Alex in the empty office the next day, her voice echoing off the glass walls. "How could you hide this? I had a right to know." He stepped closer, his hands trembling as he cupped her face. "I was scared, Elena. You were building your future, I didn't want to trap you. But seeing you again, it's like fate gave us a second chance." Their lips met in a kiss that was all fire and desperation, rain streaking the windows like tears from the sky. It was forbidden, intoxicating, his hands tracing her back with a tenderness that made her gasp, her fingers tangling in his hair as years of pent-up longing poured out. They pulled apart, breathless, but the guilt crashed over her like a wave. Mark deserved better. Her family, conservative and rooted in Midwest values from her childhood visits to Ohio, would never understand. That evening, she confessed part of it to her best friend, Sarah, over wine in a cozy downtown cafe. "It's him, Sarah, the one from college. And there's a child." Sarah's eyes widened, her hand squeezing Elena's. "Oh, honey, this is dangerous. But follow your heart, life's too short for regrets." The first major obstacle reared its head when Mark noticed the change in her. He'd always been understanding, a steady accountant with a kind smile, but suspicion darkened his eyes during dinner one night in their pristine suburban home. "You've been distant, Elena. Is there someone else?" She froze, fork midway to her mouth, the scent of roasted chicken turning sour. Tears welled as she admitted the rekindled feelings, though she omitted the child, for now. Mark's face crumpled, his voice raw with hurt. "After everything we've built? I thought we were solid." The argument escalated, voices rising like thunder, plates pushed aside. He stormed out into the rain, leaving her sobbing on the kitchen floor, the engagement ring feeling like a shackle. How could she choose between security and the soul-deep passion she'd rediscovered? But the pain didn't end there. Alex's past trauma surfaced next, a shadow that threatened to eclipse their budding reunion. Alex opened up during a stolen lunch in a quiet park, autumn leaves crunching underfoot as they shared sandwiches. "After you left, I spiraled," he confessed, his voice husky with emotion. "My parents disowned me when they found out about Mia, said I was too young, too reckless. I worked dead-end jobs, fought depression, but she saved me." Elena's heart ached, her hand reaching for his across the picnic table. Their fingers intertwined, a simple touch that sent shivers through her. "I'm here now," she whispered, leaning in for a soft kiss that lingered, tasting of hope and honey mustard. But class differences loomed, her polished executive world clashed with his scrappy background, whispers in the office hinting at favoritism. One afternoon, during a heated board meeting, a colleague accused her of bias toward Alex's ideas. "Is this professional, or personal?" The room fell silent, Elena's cheeks burning as she defended him, but doubt seated in her mind. Was this worth the risk to her career? The second cliffhanger struck like lightning when Elena's family visited from Ohio for Thanksgiving. Her parents, staunch believers in tradition, adored Mark and the stable life he represented. Over turkey and pie in the warmly lit dining room, scented with cinnamon and sage, her mother pulled her aside. "You seem off, dear. Everything okay with Mark?" Elena's resolve cracked, she broke down in tears, confessing the affair and the child. Her father's face hardened, voice stern. "This is foolishness, Elena. Think of your future, divorce, scandal. We raised you better." The confrontation spilled into the living room, Mark arriving unexpectedly to join the holiday, only to overhear the bombshell about Mia. A child? With him? His roar echoed, betrayal etching lines on his face. Elena stood between them, heart-shattering as Mark grabbed his coat. "I'm done. We're done." He slammed the door, leaving her in ruins amid the holiday wreckage. But the secret she uncovered next would destroy everything she built, for Alex had been hiding another layer, a health crisis that could steal their second chance before it began. In the aftermath, Elena sought solace in Alex's arms, driving to his modest apartment on the city's edge. The rain pounded the roof as they collapsed onto his couch, tears mingling with kisses that grew more urgent, his hands sliding under her shirt with a reverence that made her arch into him. "I need you," she breathed, their bodies pressing close in a dance of rediscovered intimacy, slow, seductive caresses that built like a symphony, waves of pleasure crashing without crossing into explicit territory, leaving them breathless and entwined. But dawn brought reality. Alex confessed his secret illness, a rare heart condition diagnosed last year, requiring surgery he couldn't afford. "I didn't want pity," he said, eyes glistening. "But with you back, I have something to fight for." Elena's world spun. How could fate be so cruel? She vowed to help, dipping into savings despite the risk, but interference complicated everything when Mark, fueled by hurt, threatened to expose the affair at work. The third obstacle emerged in the form of societal disapproval. Whispers at the office turned to outright gossip, Elena's authority questioned. During a client pitch in a sleek conference room overlooking Puget Sound, a rival employee leaked emails hinting at her relationship with Alex. The client pulled out, citing instability, and Elena faced a board review. "This could cost you everything," her mentor warned over coffee, the bitter brew mirroring her mood. Tears streamed as she confronted Alex in the parking garage, rain slicking their hair. "Is this worth it? My career, my reputation?" He pulled her close, his embrace a lifeline. "You're worth everything to me." Their kiss was fierce, defiant, wind whipping around them like a tempest of passion. But personal fears gnawed at her, fear of abandoning stability, of failing as a mother to a child she barely knew. Meeting Mia for the first time was a heart-wrenching milestone. Alex arranged it at a sunny California beach during a business trip, the waves crashing like applause as Elena approached the little girl building sandcastles. "Is this my mommy?" Mia asked, eyes wide with wonder. Elena knelt, tears falling onto the sand, pulling her into a hug that felt like coming home. "Yes, sweetheart. I'm here now." The moment was pure magic, Alex watching with haunted eyes, but it amplified the guilt. Back in Seattle, a health crisis hit when Alex collapsed during a late-night work session, his condition worsening. Rushed to the hospital, Elena sat by his bed, holding his hand as monitors beeped like accusations. "Don't leave me," she sobbed, their fingers laced in silent promise. Mark's final interference came in a tearful plea at her doorstep, rain drenching them both. "I still love you. Choose me, choose safety." The argument was raw, voices cracking with pain, but Elena's heart knew the truth. The fourth cliffhanger unfolded during Alex's surgery, Elena pacing the sterile waiting room, coffee turning cold in her hands. Hours stretched like eternity, her mind replaying their journey, the stolen glances, the heated arguments, the tender reconciliations. When the doctor emerged with good news, relief flooded her like sunlight after storm. But recovery brought family confrontation. Elena's parents arrived unannounced, demanding she end it. "He's not good enough," her father bellowed in the hospital cafeteria. Tears flowed as Elena stood her ground. Love isn't about perfection, it's about fighting for what's real. The standoff ended with reluctant acceptance, her mother's hug a bridge to forgiveness. As Alex healed, they navigated the final obstacles, integrating Mia into their lives and dissolving Elena's engagement formally. Mark, though heartbroken, found grace in letting go, sharing a poignant coffee where tears mingled with goodbyes. "Be happy," he whispered, his hand squeezing hers one last time. Elena's career rebounded with a bold new campaign inspired by their story, themes of second chances and hidden truths resonating with clients. In quiet moments, she and Alex rebuilt, their love deepening through therapy and open hearts. One evening on a Midwest suburb porch during a family visit, autumn leaves swirling like confetti, Alex proposed under a harvest moon. "Will you be mine, again?" His voice trembled, ring glinting with promise. She said yes, tears of joy sealing their fate. But the ultimate test came when past trauma resurfaced. Alex's family reached out, seeking reconciliation. A tense dinner in California, ocean breeze carrying salt and hope, led to tearful apologies and mended bonds. Elena held Mia close, the child's laughter a balm for old wounds. Through it all, their passion burned steady, lingering caresses in the kitchen, whispered confessions in bed, rain-soaked walks where kisses tasted of forever. In the end, as they stood on a Seattle beach at sunset, Mia playing in the waves, Elena and Alex embraced, hearts finally whole. The journey had been fraught with heartbreak and hurdles, but love had prevailed, a testament to forgiveness and the courage to chase what sets your soul on fire. True love isn't found in the safety of shadows, it's forged in the fire of secrets revealed, second chances seized, and hearts healed through the storm. It reminds us that passion, though forbidden and fraught with pain, is the spark that makes life worth living, embracing the unknown, forgiving the past, and daring to love with everything we have. If this story touched your heart and made you believe in love again, please like the video right now, it means everything to us. And subscribe to Epic Love Secrets with notifications on for more heart-wrenching, epic narrated love stories that remind us why we keep searching.